Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. It's moments like these where I question some of my beliefs. Throughout the whole defund the police nonsense of 2020, most conservatives, right-leaning people took the stance of defending police officers, and then you think about all the government overreach and tyranny from late 2020 all the way into 2021 and even early 2022, depending on where you live in the world, and you realize that all that tyranny was actually enacted and enforced by the same police officers that you spent so much time vehemently defending. And people were getting brutally slammed down to the ground because they weren't adhering to whatever the government medical policy of the time was, when they were getting pepper sprayed in the face to BTFO the virus. It really made you question the entity that you were spending so much time vehemently supporting or defending. Well, that same logic, that same kind of thinking applies to federal agencies as well. Police departments are local agencies, the federal agencies are nationwide agencies. Same damn thing. Maybe 6-7 years ago, I would have never come close to agreeing with a statement that the CIA and the FBI have become enemies of democracy. But nowadays, it's hard to farm a counter-argument, especially with moments like these. We have a clip that's gone viral, Josh Hawley taking on an FBI official on the issue of the FD-23 document, suggesting Joe Biden's involvement in a criminal bribery scheme. And what was said here during this interaction, or probably what isn't being said by the official, is absolutely shocking. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so the title of this video from Forbes Breaking News is Shock Moment. FBI official admits doc alleging Biden took $5 million in bribes exists to Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Abadi, let me just stay with you. You just started to answer Senator Blackburn's question that not releasing the 1023 or talking about it as a matter of life and death. Question of life and death, you said. Explain.
It is potentially a question of life and death
for whom?
With regard to the source of the information.
So now we've confirmed that the document exists. That's progress because the FBI director initially denied that it exists. Why did he do that?
We have already and previously acknowledged the existence of the documents.
Yeah, after you first denied it. Now, when a member of this committee read it, right, the FBI director, let's just get the record straight. The FBI director initially said it doesn't exist. Then Senator Grassley said, I've read it. Then he said, oh, okay, well, gotcha. I guess it does exist. Now you're going back and forth with members of this committee, what's in it. Why don't you just release it? Is it classified?
The document is not classified.
Okay. Will you commit to releasing it?
Senator, we'll take that back and we will work with you in this committee.
How about just a yes or no? Will you commit to releasing this unclassified document that alleges that the President of the United States, has taken $5 million or more in bribes from a foreign nation?
The document has already been released pursuant to a subpoena to the House Oversight Committee.
Has it been released to this committee?
We will work with this committee within the parameters that are established to meet the request.
Will you release the document to the public? It's unclassified. Don't you think the American people have a right to see it?
Senator, the document, as you know, contains sensitive information that has bearing on the life of the source of the information, potentially.
You can redact the source's name. We do this all the time.
In some instances, Senator, and I know you know this, that is not sufficient to protect people. And that's what we strive and work to do each and every day. And I hope you would take that seriously, too.
Oh, I take it very seriously. But I also take seriously the fact that your institution has repeatedly abused its authority, has repeatedly targeted political opponents. Your institution is the one that went to the door of pro-life protesters with SWAT teams to try and intimidate people because of their speech. Your institution is the one that treated parents as domestic terrorists because of their speech. Your institution is the one that, according to the court, the FISA court, ran 278,000 unwarranted, probably illegal queries on Americans, right? That was your institution, correct?
With respect to the compliance incidents, yes, some of the other things you cited, we can take them one by one. They are not.
Compliance, you would characterize the unlawful querying 278,000 times of American citizens as compliance issues?
Couple key takeaways there. The FBI essentially just admitted that they lied to Congress. They stated on multiple occasions that the document didn't exist and the document may have existed. Well, apparently we now have confirmation the document did exist, clearly, as Chuck Grassley and other members of the Oversight Committee have now seen the document. But what's most shocking, beyond the fact that the FBI lied, I mean, that's really no surprise, it has a history of being a lying and deceptive agency. The lying here isn't the major issue. The suppression of relevant information to a criminal investigation, or a document that frankly should be used as a justification to launch a major investigation, hopefully a special counsel investigation, the suppression of this document is what's most telling of the FBI. He now admits they had the document. They had a document tying a Ukrainian oligarch to current president of the United States, Joe Biden, and of course at the time then candidate Joe Biden. They knew this. They had a document from a credible source suggesting that Joe Biden was a criminal selling his office, and they did nothing because they didn't want to interfere in the election. Is probably one reason, but the reason this FBI official gives is even more pathetic because it's a matter of life and death. The witness would be at risk. Well, if you think about it, by that logic, in literally every single criminal case where there's a witness that would testify or go to any agency with any evidence of wrongdoing, well, the cases should be shut down before they even start because the protection of the witness is paramount. Call me crazy, but that makes literally no sense. What the FBI is telling you is that their priority was ensuring the safety and keeping the anonymity of their witness above actually doing their job. And in this context, possibly the most important job you could imagine, looking into possible bribery schemes and corruption involving a potential president at the time of the United States of America. You know, maybe stopping a corrupt criminal from taking power in the nation. No, of course not. That's not the FBI's focus. We see stuff like this with the FBI too often, whether it's Hillary Clinton, the Podestas, all the wrongdoing in relation to Crossfire Hurricane. I mean, the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, they sat on that for nearly 20 years, doing absolutely nothing. Yet you're the extremist because you have an issue with the FBI. You can't question the legitimacy of the FBI or the oath that these agents have taken to the nation. Really? They try to make the argument as if that's some sort of extremist stance. It's not extremist. It's basically assessing the facts at hand, assessing the information that you have in front of you. I mean, look at what you're seeing right here with this FBI official. These people are compromised. They're corrupt. And actually, I'm just learning of this, adding even more credibility and connecting more of the dots in relation to Joe Biden's involvement in these criminal schemes. This is a question that was asked by a member of the press during a White House event yesterday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Why did the Ukraine FBI informant file refer to you as the big guy? Why is that term really applied? Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Right answer to that question.
Why did the Ukraine National FBI informant file refer to you as the big guy? Apparently that's the case. We have this from the Washington Examiner. Joe Biden was referred to as the big guy in dealings with Ukraine, FBI record reportedly reveals. So you mean to tell me that the FBI, again, had a highly credible whistleblower informant pointing the finger at Joe Biden as being the big guy, receiving a $5 million bribe, and negotiating putting his son in a lucrative position on the board of Burisma? They had all of this information pointing the finger at this criminal scheme, with Joe Biden being referred to as the big guy. Then the Hunter Biden laptop came out in 2020, referring to somebody as the big guy, 10% kickbacks for the big guy. Tony Bobolinsky said 1,000%, that's a quote, that Joe Biden was the big guy. They knew all of this. They had this internal document, a highly credible informant that they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to, that they worked with from all the way back to the Obama administration. They had all of this information and they chose to sit on it, and not just sit on it. They chose to pursue Donald Trump at the exact same time, infiltrate Twitter and Facebook to suppress the Hunter Biden laptop story that was clearly bad for Joe Biden's campaign. And again, we're supposed to respect these agencies. The FBI, the CIA, the DOJ have been totally compromised. They have become weapons, arms of the DNC. I don't know if there's any going back from here. The only place my brain keeps going back to is that these agencies must be totally and utterly dismantled, reformed, and reforged. This is the type of stuff that you would expect in a banana republic in a totally corrupted nation. Well, it seems as though that's an apt description. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.